Hello there, it's Peter Watson from Metropix. We're part of the Landmark Information Group and within the Landmark Estate Agency Services Division. We're going to show you today how to create a floor plan on Metropix. Before we do that, we'll just look at what's required when we're sketching at the property, and then we'll show you how to work with the floor plan once we've drawn it. To give you a little bit of an overview of Metropix as well as a company, we were started in 2005 and have grown rapidly, and there's over 4,000 floor plans going through the system on a daily basis. We've never actively marketed abroad, but through having a good internet presence and always sort of coming up top in sort of searches, we've become a global presence, and with a particularly strong presence in Australia and the USA and South Africa as well. The system was designed specifically for estate agents to create a floor plan very quickly and easily. And we back that up with an excellent customer support team and training. In terms of the reasons to use Metropix, I've mentioned the training, but we do have this fantastic support team. You can contact us by telephone, email, or web chat. As I say, you can get your floor plans ready to market in literally minutes. And this is the important one. We'll touch on this as we go to draw a floor plan, access to over 12 million historic floor plans as well that have been drawn by other customers. We've won the ESTAs for the last 5 years in a row, which we're really delighted with, and they're voted for by our customers, no one else. And so that's what makes it even more special to us. And we've got an app where you can actually draw the floor plan on your iPad, and if you want to know more about that, just contact the support team after the training. So as I say, you're in good hands and excellent support team, and we'll even back that up, and we'll help people drawing a floor plan, even share our screens if we need to, and regular levels of training as well. Today we're just going to get you pointed in the right direction and show you how to draw a floor plan with Metropix. So I mentioned sketching at the property. This is the sort of thing that you'll produce, a simple sketch like this. On this example, someone's used a ruler, which is unnecessary, just a simple freehand sketch. If you're interested, you can download the graph paper from our website. And if you want to make a note of the links from the home page, you can just click support and then click view training material, and you'll see the sketch template there. So home support, view training material are the links to click. This is the sort of thing you'll produce. It's easy to spend too much time measuring too much and recording too much information, and it can become very time consuming. What we're looking for here is just a very quick, simple sketch of the layout of the property. The key thing to remember is we need to get the rooms measured accurately. That's a given. So with the living room, you can see we've got 23'7" by 11'2". Pop the measurements against each wall. There's nothing worse than a square looking room that says 10'6" by 10'1", and you don't know which wall's which. So measurements against each wall, but the rest of it, don't go measuring everything. The rest of it, the term to remember in the back of your mind is visual accuracy. So if you're in this kitchen, for argument's sake, and looking at these kitchen units coming down the left-hand wall, if they look as though they're 2/3 the length of the wall, just draw them as you see them. Spend a couple of extra seconds on your sketch, getting it visually correct. So positioning of the stairs and sinks and toilets and windows and doors, visual accuracy is all you need. Don't, for goodness sake, go measuring everything, because you will be there all day. Simple, quick, freehand sketch. And once you've drawn that, we can come back and draw our floor plan. Let's just end this for now. And we've logged into our Metropix account. This is one that we use for training purposes, works exactly the same as yours. And we're going to draw a new floor plan. So when we log in, it always brings you to the My Plans page. And we click a link at the top there, which says New Floor Plan. And step one will ask us to enter the property address, whatever that might be. I'm going to type in a random address now. So we'll put 100 London Road, that will do, and then we click next. And step two will ask us how we want to create the floor plan. We've got three options. First one is draw online now, starting with a blank page, and in a few seconds we'll click start drawing now and draw a floor plan from scratch. I mentioned those 12 million historic plans on the system, and that's what this second option refers to. Open existing plan from the search results. Well, over the years, thousands of customers have drawn millions of floor plans. We're over, as you saw, 12 million floor plans on the system. So it might just be this 100 London Road that we're putting on the market today could have been on the market in the dim and distant past, and the agent that perhaps marketed the floor plan could have used Metropix, in which case we'll have one already on our system. Now you can see if we scroll down this list, we've got a 92 London Road, 108. We haven't got an exact match for 100, but there are some that are pretty close, and you might think, well, actually number 108 is exactly the same layout as 100, so I could use that as a template. So if there's not a direct exact match, you can actually load one up that's similar. And you'll see as we draw the floor plan, if you open up one perhaps it's a neighbouring property, we can flip it left to right or whatever just to get it to the right way round. So that's Plan Bank. As I say, this access to a database of floor plans have been drawn by other agents in the past. Really useful and a real time saver. We talk about drawing the floor plan quickly. Well, with Plan Bank, you can almost draw it instantly. And the third option is to use Auto Draw. That's where we draw the floor plan for you from a sketch that you send to us. That's an additional charge, so only click that if you're authorised or you're happy to pay the extra. So we'll click Start Drawing now, and we're going to draw our floor plan from scratch. Just wait for the page to load up, the page that we call Plan Maker. Here we go. So this is the page that greets us. Let me just quickly change one thing. Just come out of expert mode. We've got a blue box that gives us hints and tips and guidance as we create the floor plan. And it's telling us to please begin by pressing the Add Room icon at the bottom of the screen. You can see we've got a room symbol down there. As you hover your mouse over it, it changes to Add Room. We've also got stairs, one that changes to Add Stairs, Undo and Redo. In the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see we're working on a 2-foot grid. So we're working in feet and inches. Each one of these squares is 2 feet. Now, when you go to the property, you'll measure up in what you prefer, whether it's feet and inches or metric, meters and centimeters. You can do the same when you draw the floor plan. Under the Options tab, you can choose your preference. So if you prefer metric, you can choose metric there, and you'll see the grid will change slightly. We're now on a 50 centimetre grid, so each square is half a metre. Don't worry about which one you work in, because at the end of the day, the system will provide measurements in both. It'll do the conversion for you as well. We're going to stick with feet and inches today, I'm afraid. We've got a bank of symbols that we'll come to in a short while, and a floors tab that we'll come to later. So we're going to start our floor plan. We start on the ground floor. Always start on the ground floor. Don't worry if it's like a first or a second floor flat, because you can rename the floors or not name them at all if it's just a single story property. But we're going to start on the ground floor. We'll do a little 2-bedroom Victorian mid-terrace bay-fronted upstairs bathroom. We all know the layout of those. In terms of where we start, we create the floor plan room by room. So you tend to start in one corner and just work your way across the floor plan sort of diagonally. So we'll start with the lounge at the front of the property. So we click Add Room, and we're going to create our first room. You can see it says first room there. On the left-hand side, we've got various room types: hallway, reception, kitchen, bedroom, down through garage and outbuilding. Just choose the type of room that it's going to be. So being a lounge, it's going to be a reception type room. So I'll put a dot in that radio button there. And as soon as I do, we get a list of reception type room names to choose from: dining room, drawing room, family room. Choose what you want. If it's not there, you can type in your own word. It could be a snug that's not on the list. As I say, we've got users all over the world that use Metropix. They type in their own language and the system accepts it. You might even have a small lobby in the middle of a house, door in, door out. You think, well, there's no point naming it, in which case don't. You can leave it blank if you need to. We'll choose lounge. That works for me. So the type of room is reception. The room description is lounge. Ceiling height you can ignore. We'll only be dealing with that if you're on the phone to us with a query. Just focus on room type, room name, and simply click OK. And there's our first room created. Now, if you put your mouse on the graph paper and hold your left mouse button down, as I'm doing now, the measurements pop up. So you can just keep record of the measurements. Now, we've got an 8-foot 2-inch square room there. We need to get this to the right shape and size. So we'll imagine it's 14 foot 9 inches wide by 13 foot 2 deep. I'll release the mouse now, so the measurements disappear. As you hover your mouse over any wall, the wall turns red and a double arrow appears. So we want to move this wall out. Now, the nature of the system is drag and drop. So hold the left mouse button down and just drag this wall out, okay? When we get to the right size, we say 14 foot 9, we can release the mouse. We can do the same with the adjacent wall. I think we said 13 foot 2 deep, so we can just come down a couple more. Oops, a bit too far. And we can release the mouse there. So there's our first room, 14 foot 9. It's actually 13 foot 1. Don't worry too much about that. If it's not perfect, then I'll explain why at the end. It's not a problem. You obviously want to draw the floor plan as accurately as you can and get each room to the inch, but as I say, don't get obsessed. It's got to be perfect, because in the real world it's not possible. I've known properties where 2 rooms next door to each other, they should be the same depth, but they're not. They vary with different plaster finishes and what have you. So as I say, don't panic that it's not exact, but try and draw it as accurately as you can. So we're going to add another room now. We're going to put a hallway down the left-hand side. Okay, so come in an entrance door at the bottom, hallway down the left-hand side. So we'll click add room. Now that first room was just a sort of blank room as a starting point to work out from. For every room that we create from now on, we've got this little red dot that follows the mouse around the page. And just move that dot to the corner of the new room. So it's going to start at the bottom there. You see it just jumps into place at the last minute. Then left click and hold and drag that to the opposite corner like so. When we're there, as soon as I release the mouse, we're back where we were with naming the room, okay? And it says new room. We've got a hallway reception, these room types, so being a hallway, it's going to be a hallway type room. And we'll choose hall from the list, or whatever you want, or type in your own word. Ignore ceiling height and click OK. There's our second room created. We're going to pop a dining room behind here. We're going to put a kitchen behind that. We're going to run out of space pretty quickly. So we simply drag the plan down the page. And again, put your mouse on the graph paper, left click and hold. Yes, the measurements pop up, but while you're holding the mouse button down, it's like you're sort of dragging the graph paper sheet around just to reposition it wherever you need to, okay? And so we can click add room, little red dot, move that to the corner of the new room. Then we can left click and hold and simply drag this across the opposite corner, somewhere like so. That will do. Release the mouse, reception type room, and we can choose dining room from the list here. Room type, room name, and okay. Now, this could be a through hallway, front to back hallway, stairs on the left-hand side, wall between the stairs and the dining room to get through to the kitchen. So although we've created this room, you can still move walls around afterwards. You never sort of draw them perfectly first time, as you saw with the lounge. So just drag those walls out a little bit and the walls snap together as they join up. Left click and hold and drag the plan down the page a little bit more, and we can pop a kitchen on the back. So add room, little red dot, pop it there, left click and hold, and just drag the opposite corner like so. Kitchen is the room type, and kitchen defaults into the description, and click OK. Now, sometimes you'll have rooms within rooms. You may have a cupboard in the corner of a room or an ensuite in the master bedroom. Let's just imagine perhaps we've got a cupboard at the end of the hallway, little understairs cupboard, door in from the kitchen. So I've always thought it's important to show cupboards and storage. So we'll click add room, little red dot, left click and hold, and just drag that out to roughly about 3 foot will do. And we can name it, being a cupboard, it's going to be a storage type room. You'll get used to these options really quickly. And when we choose storage, you see cupboard appears on the list there, and click OK. There's our cupboard created. Now that's great. The layout's done. We've got all the rooms drawn, but clearly not all rooms are going to be nice and rectangular or square. And let's imagine we've got a bay window on the front of the lounge as well to add. Let's imagine this kitchen's L-shaped as well. So we want to move part of this wall out a little bit. Let's just zoom in a fraction. Want to move part of this wall out a little bit. We know at the moment if I drag this wall, the whole lot moves, which is no good. Let's just undo that, put it back where it was. We just want to move part of this wall. So what we do, put your mouse on the wall. At the point where the wall breaks, so if it comes out from about this point here, just hold your mouse on the wall and simply double left click your mouse. So I'm going to do that now, double left click. And when I move the mouse away, there's a little white dot on the wall. And now only those sections either side of that white dot will highlight. So we set that marker on the wall, and we can left click and hold and drag that wall down or up as the case may be, perhaps make it a 3 foot recess like so. And we can tie it up with the adjacent wall as well. So that's double left click on a wall to set a little marker. So if we had a bay window, we'd need to set markers both sides of the bay. So move it to one side and double left click, move it to the other side and double left click. Now we've got our 2 little white dots, and just drag that piece of wall out between them. There we go, we can make that a 2 foot bay. That's great, that's a square bay. I hear you shout, what if it's an angled bay, where the walls at each side come in at an angle? Well, to create an angled bay, we need to make the square bay first of all, as we have done, and then simply just drag the dots in at the corners, like so. So you do the same on the other side. We don't need to get it perfect, but if you do make sure the measurements on both angles are the same, we'll know it's symmetrical, and release the mouse. So there we go. We can make any shape room that we need to. We could perhaps, sometimes get those octagonal conservatories, don't you? So we double click twice on the wall. Now we're not going to make a bay with that, but we're going to drag the dots out. So you sort of get the idea. Okay, so we can make any shape room that we need to within reason. If you should go wrong, you start trying to move walls back and whatever it might be and get in a bit of a pickle, best to click the undo button. This will undo up to the last 20 actions that you've done. So just go back to where we were and pick up again from there. Now we're going to put some detail onto our floor plan. We've got a bank of symbols on the left-hand side. These are all under the title of basic symbols. So we've got a basic door, window, some doors, hob and a sink, and down through a fireplace. So these are under the title of basic symbols. If you want a better range of sinks and hobs, you can go to advanced symbols. and we've got your sort of double drainers, double bowls, ragas, corner showers, bidets, that sort of thing. If you go to all symbols, it breaks it down by category. So if we click on the kitchen category, there's every kitchen related symbol that's on the system. So you're never stuck for symbols to choose from down through American fridges and bar stools and all sorts. But we'll stick with the basic ones for now. You'll decide what level of detail you go to. I tended to put doors and windows and fireplaces on, and then kitchen and bathroom fittings, but you've seen you can go to the nth degree in terms of detail. We're going to put a front door onto the bottom of the hallway that I'm highlighting at the bottom there. And simply all we do, again, drag and drop. Choose the symbol that you want, in this case the door, left click and hold, and just drag that symbol onto your floor plan. And it's as easy as that, and release your mouse when you're there. And we can repeat that very quickly for other doors around the property. So we can pop a few doors around, and once we've added the doors, we can pop a few windows onto our floor plan as well. We'll put a couple on the front of the bay as well. Got the window symbol just below, left click and hold, and drag these onto our floor plan. Now what you'll see is every symbol has got a blue button, and this is what we call a properties button. It just enables you to amend the properties of that particular symbol. For argument's sake, this dining room door, the hinge could be on the lounge side, so we need to change the hinge side on this door. And what happens is when you hover your mouse over that blue button on any symbol, it turns red and a hand appears. So this door we want to change, so just simply left click once on that blue button and it opens up this door properties box. And all we do is click on the hinge side button, it swaps the hinge side like so. So every time we click the hinge side button, it just flips the hinge. Once we've got it right, close the box. This cupboard door could open out into the kitchen, so click on the blue button and simply change the swing direction this time. Click that button now, job done, and close the box. So that's how easy that is. Obviously this window on the front of the bay is too small, so we don't need to go adding more windows. We just amend the properties of this window. So click on the blue button, and you can see with the opening width, we can resize these symbols as well. This opening width slider bar defaults to the length of wall that the window's on. So if I simply drag this to the end, it'll fill up the wall with the window, like so. Every symbol's got a blue button. If we put a fireplace onto the wall here, you can see we can change the properties of the fireplace as well. And the thing with a fireplace is it's got width and depth, so we can change the width like so, or we can change the depth by the slider bars. But we've also got handles in each on the corners of the symbol. So if we left click and hold, we can drag it out like so to as wide or as narrow as we need to. And as I said at the start, we haven't measured this fireplace at the property. We're working to visual accuracy, but you can see we can get it to exactly 3 foot 5 inches by 1 foot deep with an 8-inch half. But as I say, we haven't measured it, so it just looks visually correct and will match my sketch. We can close the box. Now, there are a few little hints and tips we can give you to speed things up, and one is to copy symbols. So we may have a fireplace in the dining room that matches the one in the lounge, and so rather than drag another fireplace from the bank of symbols here and put it on the wall and click on the blue button and resize it, we've got one here already made. And it's what we call control and drag. In the bottom left of your keyboard you'll see a control button, CTRL. I'm going to hold that down now, so I'm keeping the control button held down, and now when I drag this fireplace, it simply makes a clone, makes an exact copy of that symbol. Okay, so we can pop a window on the back of the dining room, and we can pop some base units in the kitchen. That's probably the level of detail that I'd go to. And with these base units, we can just extend these down the wall a little bit and just stop them short of the door. You only need one symbol for each run of base units. You don't need a symbol for every single base unit. And we can put a hob and a sink on the wall, and that's pretty much it. You normally get the sink under the window, so we can pop a window on there like so. And you've seen already that if the symbol's in the wrong position, you can just left click and hold and drag that blue button to reposition it to wherever it might need to be. Okay, so there's our ground floor drawn. We're now ready to start our first floor, and I mentioned the floors tab at the start, and so we're going to click this for the first time now, and we get a message: a new floor will be added named first floor. You can rename it if needed, so that's fine. Click OK, 99 times out of 100 exactly what you need. Now what you see is we've started the first floor. We've got that highlighted on the left-hand side, but we've got the pastel outline of the floor below in blue. And this is just as a guide for you to work to. If it wasn't here, you'd start drawing your first floor, and it may not match the ground floor exactly. And so when your finished floor plans produced with the floors side by side, they might not marry up. So this just means that you can sort of draw your first floor rooms to the exact footprint of the floor below. Now always start with the landing. So we'll click Add Room, And again, we've got the little red dot, just move it to the corner of where the new one starts. So the landing's going to start about here. Left click and hold, and just drag that to the opposite corner like so. Release the mouse. Hallway type room, and we can choose landing from the list for this one, and click OK. There's our landing created. And once you've got the landing drawn, it's a good idea to add the stairs. Add the stairs, then we can work out from there. You can't add stairs onto your floor plan until we've got a room on each floor to connect them from and to, which we have now. To change floors, just click on the floor that you want to go to, so you can swap instantly between floors on the left-hand side there, okay? We're going to add some stairs. We've got the wizard here that we'll click in a few seconds. And we talk to the system in terms of compass points, which way we're heading as we go up and down the stairs. So you can imagine if we're walking in our floor plan down the hallway, we're heading north. And so when we get to the stairs on the left-hand side, we're going to continue walking north as we go up the stairs. Let's just pop some stairs on and show you. So we click Add Stairs. Which floors do the stairs run between? Which floor is the bottom step on the ground floor? Which floor is the top step on the first floor? You might think it's pretty obvious, but some agents may have drawn a 3 or 4 story property and put the stairs in at the end. So we just need to tell the system which floors we're connecting. So ground to first, then we click Next. And it asks us to look at your sketch. Imagine a person standing at the bottom of the stairs. As the person steps onto the bottom step, in which direction are they facing? Well, we said we're walking down the hallway north and continuing north up the stairs. So click the north facing set of footprints. They highlight, click Next. And it asks us to move the step to the correct position on the ground floor. So we OK that message, and that's what it's talking about. That's the step. It's pointing north and saying up. We just move this. It follows the mouse around the page. Just move that to where the bottom step will be on our floor plan. Just about there, touching the left-hand wall. Left-click the mouse, and that's set it. We're now back at our wizard. This time our person's at the top of the stairs looking down. As the person steps onto the top step, in which direction are they facing? Well, if it's a straight flight of stairs, if we're heading north going up, we must be heading south as we come down the stairs. So click the south-facing set of footprints, and then click Next. And there's our top step, pointing south and saying down. Just move this one to the left, just touching the left-hand wall again, about there. Left-click the mouse, and that sets it, and it's finished. You can see it says the stairs have been added successfully. We can change them if we need to, but it's not often. And then we click OK. So there's our stairs added. It's as easy as that. Just remember which way you're going as you go up and down the stairs. We'll do it once more, though. This time we won't end here. When we get to this point of the stairs, it's not going to be the end. We're going to carry on round the corner. So we're going to have some angled steps at the top to go round. So let's just delete these stairs. If we can either click on the blue button and delete it, but that means doing it on both floors. If we click undo, that was the last thing we did, wasn't it? Adding the stairs. So click undo, and they've gone. So very quickly, add stairs, exactly the same as before, ground to first, and then click Next. And as before, heading north, going up the stairs, and click Next, and OK. And we'll pop the bottom step exactly where we did last time, just touching the left-hand wall. Left-click the mouse now, that's set that one. But this time, the stairs went up and they went round to the right. So if we were coming down the stairs, we'd take one step west, come round the angled steps, and then come south. So west-facing set of footprints. Click Next, and pop that one on the landing at the top there. And when I click the mouse now, it won't have finished. It's worked out it's got to put a turn in. Those stairs aren't pointing towards one another. So it's asking, does the staircase have some steps at angles as in the diagram? Yes, it does. If it was a flat landing, we'd say no. Yes, click Next, and the stairs have finished, been added successfully. So click Finish, and you can see it's put the stairs in, it's put the turn in with the angled steps and top step. You can see why we're heading west, one step, and then we come down the rest of the stairs. And from there, we can add the rest of our rooms. So we can add our bedroom 1 down here. The system just jumps into place with the floor below, so it makes it really nice and easy. We can name it bedroom ONE or bedroom number 1, whatever. We'll pop a bedroom 2 behind here, like so. So bedroom space 2. Oops, not 23, and click OK. We can pop a bathroom behind here as well, like so. As I say, it makes it really easy because it snaps into place with the floor below. And remember, to get the same footprint as the floor below, we've got this blue line here. Just line up your mouse with that, and then on this wall, just double left click the mouse. And there's our little marker. We can just left click and hold and drag that out like so. And also remember your bay window. Using the footprint of the floor below, double click once, double click again, and just drag our wall out between them, like so, or drag the angles in, like so. So that's how to make a square bay or an angled bay. Sometimes you'll have a curved bay or a bow window. So let's just show you how to do those. We do that through the Edit tab. we've got the option to draw a curved wall. Okay, so edit, draw curved wall. And what we do, you'll see, we pretty much draw the curve ourselves. So select the option, we get a little red dot that follows the mouse around the page. Just move that dot to where the curve starts, so just there, and then left click and hold. And as we drag our mouse, holding the mouse button down, you see we're drawing a curve of sorts. Not a very good one, but when I release the mouse now, that smooths it all out and makes a nice, smooth, accurate curve. Let's just undo that and show you again very quickly. So edit, draw curved wall, little red dot, just want to start about here, and then left click and hold. It might be a more shallow one. They're not coming out so deep. Finish about there. That's a rubbish curve, but when I release the mouse, it does smooth it all out and makes it nice and easy. You can, if you want to, you can draw a box. And so you can draw a curved wall. So you just want to start here, come out about this distance, come across to about here, and finish it. You see, I even struggle to draw a box, but when I release the mouse, it smooths it all out and makes it dead easy. And from there, we can go to our symbols and add a window onto our curve. Click on the blue button. Anything with curved bays is the window doesn't quite know where to end, and you can go actually past the end of the end of the wall, like so. So just bring that back in a little bit and close the box, and we can just line that up a fraction as well, like so. So from now we can just add a few more doors and a bit of detail onto our floor plan, like so. We had a fireplace on the ground floor. If you've got a chimney breast, you can use the symbol next to it, the block symbol, and it just puts the blocked out black area onto the floor plan. If we click on the blue button, we can just make this as big or as small as we need to, like so. There we go, close the box, and remember, control and drag, hold the control button down, drag your symbol to clone it, like so. Now, we may have an appointment to go to. We may want to come and finish this later. So if you want to sort of back up your work or sort of come back and finish it off later, we can save the floor plan as an unfinished plan. Under the file menu, you can see we've got the option to save unfinished plan. We choose this. All you do is just click save on the next screen. Don't worry about anything else. Once you've chosen file and save unfinished plan, just click save. That's all you need to do. And it will tell us that our floor plan has been saved successfully, which it does. So we okay that message. Doesn't take us out of the floor plan. So if you want a big floor plan or a dodgy internet connection, you can back up your work as you go. But we know it's been saved because when I click file and exit, I won't be prompted that my changes will be lost. So we go off, we do our appointment, and we log into our Metropix account. And when we do, it brings us to our plans page. Now, we hadn't completed that plan. It was an unfinished one. So we just click to show unfinished floor plans. And there we go, 100 London Road. Open the floor plan. And we can change floors, go to the first floor, and finish off from here. We can pop a couple of windows onto our floor plan. And as I said at the start, you'll decide what level of detail that you go to. We can put a bathroom suite in here, like so, with a sink and hob. And even these symbols, you can amend them as well. I mean, that sink looks a little bit skinny to me. So if we click on the blue button, we can just make that a little bit wider, like so. And you can do the same with the toilet as well. Just give it a bit more depth and size, like so. So there we go. There's our floor plan drawn. We're happy with that. We're now ready to complete our floor plan. We've got a tick box in the top right to plan complete the floor plan. You can also do the same through the file menu and complete the floor plan there as well if you want to. So we'll click plan complete. I'll talk you through this. There are two screens to the plan complete process. 100 London Road is the address. Just spell check it really. We get a lot of people that say I drew a floor plan 6 months ago and it's gone, and you find it's a typo. It's why they can't find it. Just check it's spelled correctly. Public property description just means you want to put any text or wording to appear on the finished floor plan. I doubt you'll need to use it. I never did. But if you want to put some text or wording to appear on the finished plan, you can do there. The floor area, the system can calculate the floor area from what's been drawn on the graph paper. We'll leave it on there. If you don't want to, you just choose don't show the area. If you want to enter a floor area figure manually, you can do so in either square meters or square feet, but we'll just leave it to show the estimated area. We can add a direction arrow or a compass rose or a north arrow, whatever you want to call it. So if we stood at the front of the property and got out our compass and saw that north was pointing to say 8 o'clock, we can add a direction arrow. And we've got a dial here. Just choose the way which you want the north arrow to point. So 8 o'clock's going to be around about there. And we okay that. And that's it for the first screen. Address, any text or wording to appear on the plan, floor area, or change the direction arrow, we can OK that screen. Now you remember at the start we drew this first room, and I've drawn it to 15 foot. I've drawn it to 13 foot 1 rather than 13 foot 2. We put a 2 foot bay on, so it made it 15 foot 2. But as I said, don't worry if it's an inch out, because it's this point where we can tweak this floor plan. And if we just click on that measurement there, 15 foot 1, I can delete the 1 and type in a 2. And it just makes sure that makes that measurement correct, okay? I mean, perhaps if the width had been 14 foot 10, I could delete the 9 and type in a 10 like so, okay? So you can tweak the measurements here and make them dead accurate. We can add text after these measurements as well. So 14 foot 10 could be perhaps a maximum width, and perhaps it's 15 foot 2, as you've seen, it's the depth, it could be into bay. So we can type up to 13 characters of text after each measurement. And another option, this is purely optional, don't have to, but if you want to, you can show a measurement arrow on the final plan. If we put a tick there, we can drag these around by these little blue triangles, but we can tell people that the width we're measuring into the alcove, and the depth we're either measuring to exclude the bay, or in this case, we're measuring into the bay. So the lounge is perfect. That's all correct measurements, and all the text is there and the measurement arrows. Click on the next room down the hallway. 7 foot 2 by 27 foot 9 sounds completely misleading, so we'll say no measurements. Dining room we can assume is correct. The kitchen, we put a 3 foot recess on the back there. So instead of 17 feet, we can change that to 14 feet, because when we show the measurement arrows, we're not measuring to that far wall, we're measuring to this hob wall and to this window wall. So work your way down the list and tweak the measurements as you need to. Again, that 3 foot bay we could delete to 13 foot 2. And perhaps the bathroom, we don't want measurements on there. And once we've done that, we now click Send to Metropix. If incidentally you don't want measurements on your floor plan at all and just want the room names, then on the previous screen we would have chosen not to show the floor area, and this screen we'd click Remove All Measurements. And so every room will be set to no measurements all the way down at the click of a button. But we're happy with these. We now click Send to Metropix. And this fires the floor plan across the system. It's connected with the Metropix server, and it's going to process our floor plan. It's given it the reference number, and we've got a refresh button. The floor plan's queued for processing. Just click refresh every few seconds. It's picked it up now. Your floor plan will be ready in a few moments. It only take about 20-25 seconds to go through. And when it's ready, click refresh. You'll see it becomes available. There we go. Your floor plan is ready. If we scroll down, there's the floor plan just drawn in those few seconds then. And that's great. You may look at that and think, I missed a window off the back of the kitchen, or perhaps there's some other amendment we need to make. Perhaps the seller didn't like it called lounge, but wanted to call sitting room, whatever. You can just click open edit and make as many changes as you need to. Amendments aren't charged for, but we'll assume we're happy with this floor plan. And all we do, we download the Metropix floor plan image from the Metropix website as a high-res JPEG, in the same way as you upload photos from your camera and save them to your computer. In the big grey box above, you can see at the bottom, download floor plan. Resolution is set to high, format is set to JPEG. Just simply click download. Now you'll probably have your own property folder that you'll have your property's information stored into, so you'll probably click save and save as, or whatever. But we'll just open the image for now, and I'll show you the finished version of the floor plan that we've got. And there's the floor plan just drawn this morning. We'll zoom in a little bit. You can see on the top right, we've got our compass rose pointing north, pointing to 8 o'clock. And our bathroom suite with the symbols resized. The kitchen, you can see the measurement arrows, much more discreet than they were in Plan Maker. If we scroll down the page, you can see we've got our lounge with the text after the measurements there. And you see 15 foot 2. We changed both of those measurements, but it didn't change the floor plan, didn't start moving walls around. It just put the right measurement into that particular room. Okay, the hallway with no measurements as well. You can see we've got the floors laid out side by side. It's calculated the floor area. Ground floor 711 square feet, and the first floor 696 square feet. You might ask why those differ, because it's exactly the same footprint. Surely those floor areas are the same, but it's removed the block symbol, because that is unusable floor area. Okay, so it does remove the floor area for the block symbol. Got a total floor area of 1,407 square feet, and it's got the metric conversion as well. And if we zoom in on the floor plan, you can see we've got a disclaimer, whilst every attempt, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty watertight. And if we zoom in on our floor plan right in, you can see we've got bedroom 1 pretty much filling the screen now. And it's still legible. It's getting a bit pixelated and grainy, but if we zoom out to a point where that's clear, what about now? We've still got bedroom 1 filling the screen. So on any website or sales particulars, that's going to be a really good high resolution image. We'll close that down. And if we now click My Plans, when we log into our account, we'll now see that our 100 London Road is in our list of completed plans. And so to access it, you just click the View button. And that's it. That's how to draw a floor plan with Metropix. If you get any questions or need any assistance, simply click Contact Us on the web page, and you can either phone us 01184, that number there, that'll bring you straight through to the support team. You speak to someone straight away and get your problem sorted, or you can send us an inquiry if you need help drawing a plan or whatever it might be. Just choose from the topics there, your name, your company, phone number, email. How do I do this? Can you call me about such and such? Click send, that'll come through as an email to us. Our average response time is under 20 minutes. So you send us an inquiry, you're not left waiting for days for an answer. We will get back to you pretty much straight away. As I say, the average response time is 20 minutes. But that's it. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully it's been beneficial and you're now more confident with drawing floor plans. I'll leave it with you, and I'm sure we'll talk again in the future. Thanks very much for your time. Speak to you soon. Bye now.